Start the great name of Allah, who is most kind and most merciful. To all the listeners, Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdullah Tunyo, I'm a student of BBA from Sindh University campus, Ladkano. I am going to present 3 presentations as part of a final term examination assigned by respected Sir Farhan Ali Surayo. Topics of presentation. These 3 are the topics of my presentation today. The first one is parts of computer system, and second one by the buses, and third printers and its types. So the first topic of my presentation today is parts of computer system. Agenda of my topic will be what is a computer, what are the 4 parts of computer, and the third one, define 4 parts of computer. So first of all, to understand the basic parts of computer system, you must understand what is a computer. I'll just give a highlight that what actually is a computer. Well, the term computer is derived from the Latin term computere. This means to calculate or programmable machine. A computer is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve and process data. As I have mentioned, an electronic device or storing and processing data. What is data? Computer data is information processed or stored by a computer. This information may be in the form of text, documents, images, audio clips, software programs or other types of data. A computer system has 4 main components: hardware, software and user. Let's discuss all these basic parts of computer one by one. So coming to the first basic part or component, you can say, of computer is hardware. These all are the physical of a computer. They are tangible, means those parts of computer which we can see or touch are the hardware of the computer. These are also sometimes called the machinery or the equipment of the computer. Hardware components are like electronic or mechanical instruments like keyboard, monitor, printer, etc. Well, hardware can be of 4 types. The first one, input hardware, for users to input data into the computer system, for example keyboard, mouse, scanner. Second one, output hardware, to translate and display the result of the data processing. For example monitor, screen, printer, etc. are the output hardware. Then number third, processing and memory hardware, where data and information are processed and manipulated to perform the task at hand. It is also the workplace of the computer where it is temporarily stores data. For example central processing unit and read only memory. And the fourth one, secondary storage hardware, where the computer system stores data permanently, for example hard disk, pen drive, etc. They are the 4 types of hardware. So coming to the second basic part of computer, software. Software is nothing but a set of programs, computer instructions. Software comprises the entire set of programs, procedures and routines associated with the operation of a computer system, or a set of instructions that directs a computer's hardware to perform a task is called program or software program. There are 2 types of software. Number 1, system software, and number 2, application software. Let's discuss these 2 types of software. Well, the first one is system software. System software is a type of computer program designed to run a computer's hardware and application programs. System software coordinates the activities and functions of the hardware and software. In addition, it controls the operation of the computer's hardware and provides an environment platform for all the other types of software to work on it. The best known of example of system software is the operating software, which manages all the other programs in a computer. And as you can see in the image, system software include operating systems like Mac operating system, Linux, Android and Microsoft Windows. And the second one is application software. Well, it is the type of software which runs as per user's request. It runs on the platform which is provided by the system software. It's a specific purpose software. The main difference between system software and application software is that without system software, system cannot run on and on the other hand, without application software, system always runs. Number third basic part of computer, data. Raw facts in a computer are said to be data. Computer data is information processed or stored by a computer. We already discussed what is data in the first slide. Data is any collection of numbers, characters or other symbols that has been coded into a format that can be input into a computer and processed. Data on its own has no meaning or context. It is only after processing by a computer that takes data on a context and becomes information. Well, that's data. Let's move on to the fourth basic part of computer, which is user. Well, the people interacting with the computer system are also an element of it. They are the ultimate users of the computer system. Well, users can be of many types: programmers, professionals who write the computer programs that allow users to interact with the computer. They must have technical knowledge of computers and computer languages. Then there comes a system analyst. They mainly design data processing systems and solve problems that arise in data processing. Then end users, also known as operators, they are the people who interact with the computer system. Well, thank you for your attention. So the second topic of my presentation today is the buses. Well, the key points of my presentation today: introduction to buses, what is a bus, transfer speed of a bus, and types of buses. Well, you can think of computer bus like public transportation or school bus. These types of buses are capable of transporting people from one destination to another destination. Like these buses, a computer bus transmits data from one location or device to another location or device. A bus is a connection between components or devices connected to a computer. What is a computer bus? A group of electrical lines or wires that carry computer signals. A bus is a connection between components or devices connected to a computer. For example, a bus carries data between a CPU and the system memory via the motherboard, alternatively known as address bus, data bus, or control bus. Transfer speed of a bus. A bus transfers electrical signals from one place to another. It is very easy to find the maximum speed of or transfer rate of bus. The speed at which buses conduct signals is measured in megahertz. Typical PCs today run at a speed between 20 and 65 megahertz. Transfer rate of a bus can be found the amount of data can transport in a unit of time and multiplying it by the width of its frequency. If a bus with 16-bit and frequency 133 megahertz, then transfer rate would be 16 multiplied by 133.106 bits per second. Types of buses. A bus is either an internal or external and either a parallel or a serial bus. Internal bus is a type of bus that only operates internally in a computer system. It carries data and operations as standard bus. However, it is only used for connecting and interacting with internal computer components. It is also known as internal data bus, front side bus, and local bus. External bus is a type of bus that enables external devices and components to connect a computer. It enables connecting device, carrying data and other controlling information, but is only restricted to be used external to the computer system. It is also known as external bus interface and expansion bus. Parallel bus. Well, in parallel transmission, multiple bits Usually 8 bits or a byte or character are sent simultaneously on different channels. It can be wires, frequency channels within the same cable or radio path and synchronized to clock. Parallel devices have a wider data than serial devices and can therefore transport data in words or of one or more bytes at a time. As a result, there is a speed up in parallel transmission bit or serial transmission bit rate. What is serial bus? Bits are sent sequentially on the same channel wire, which reduces costs for wire but also slows the speed of transmission. Also, for serial transmission, some overhead time is needed since bits must be assembled and sent as a unit and then disassembled at the receiver. So, the types of buses. Number 1 is data bus, number 2 address bus, and number 3 is control bus. These three are the types of buses. Data bus is a group of conducting wires which carries data only. Data bus is bidirectional because data flows in both directions from microprocessor to memory or input devices or output devices and from memory to input output devices to microprocessor. And number second comes address bus. Well, address bus is a group of conducting wires which carries address only. Address bus is unidirectional because data flows in one direction from microprocessor to memory or from microprocessor to input output devices, that is out of microprocessor. And number third is control bus, a group of conducting wires which is used to generate timing and control signals to control all associated peripherals. Microprocessor uses control bus to process data, that is what to do with selected memory location. Well, that's it from my second presentation today. So coming to the third and final topic of my presentation today, which is the printers and its types. Let's discuss outlines of my topic: introduction to printer, categories of printer, and types of printer. So first of all, let's have an introduction to the printer. What is a printer? Well, a printer is a machine for printing text and pictures. A printer is an external hardware output device that takes the electronic data stored on a computer or other device and generates a hard copy of it, especially one linked to a computer. Categories of a printer. Categories of printer. Impact and non-impact printers are the two categories of the printer. Impact printers involve mechanical components for conducting printing, while in non-impact printers, non-mechanical moving components are used. Impact printer is a type of printer that works by direct contact of an ink ribbon with the paper. These printers are typically loud but remain in use today because of their unique ability to function with multi-parts forms. An impact printer has mechanisms resembling those of typewriter. Example of impact printers are dot matrix printers, daisy wheel printers, and line printers. While non-impact printers, they are type of printers that does not hit or impact a ribbon to print. They use laser, xerographic, electrostatic, chemical, and inject technologies. Non-impact printers are generally much quieter. They are less likely to need maintenance or repairs than early impact printers. Example of non-impact printers are inkjet printers and laser printers. Types of printers. Let's discuss all the types which come under these two categories. Number one type of printer is dot matrix printers. A dot matrix printer is a type of printer which uses pins impacting an ink ribbon to print images and text which are drawn out by tiny dots when a print head strikes an ink soaked cloth against the paper in the required pattern or formation. These printers have matrix of pins on the print head of the printer which form the character. The computer memory sends one character at a time to be printed by the printer. There is a carbon between pin and the paper. The word get printed on the paper when the pin strikes the carbon. There are generally 24 pins. While daisy wheel printer, a type of printer that produces letter quality type. A daisy wheel printer works on the same principle as a ball head typewriter. The daisy wheel is a disc made of plastic or metal on which characters stand out in relief along with outer edge. To print a character, the printer rotates the disc until the desired letter is facing the paper. Then a hammer strikes the disc, forcing the character to hit an ink ribbon, leaving an impression of the character on the paper. You can change the daisy wheel to print different fonts. Daisy wheel printers cannot print graphics, and in general they are noisy and slow, printing from 10 to about 75 characters per second. Line printer that prints out a line printer that prints output from a computer, a line printer at a time rather than character by character. During printing process, the print shuttle vibrates in horizontal direction with a high speed while the print hammers are fired selectively. So each hammer may print series of dots in horizontal direction for one pass of the shuttle. Then paper advances at one step and shuttle prints the following rows of dots. Moving on to the second category of printers, which are non-impact printers. The first one is inkjet printer. They are a bit expensive. Instead of metal needles and inkjet printer fires dots of ink onto the page. They are the most common consumer printers. While some inkjet printers heat the ink so that it explodes before reaching the page, others rely on electric currents to print text. Instead of utilizing 64 dots per character like the dot matrix printer, the inkjet printer can spread up to the 5000 dots per inch. Number second is laser printer. Well, laser printers have increased the neatness and sophistication of print projects with typical resolution of 600 dots per inch or higher. It can produce high quality of documents, colorful or black and white. When you print something, your computer sends a vast stream of electronic data, typically a few megabytes or million characters, to your laser printer. While photo printers are specifically designed to create photographs. Photo printers can often accept memory cards from digital cameras directly, so you don't even need to use your PC print your digital photographs. It prints very slow. Inkjet printers used to be standard for printing out photos. Moving on to the other categories of non-impact printers. Okay, so thermal wax printer. Well, thermal wax printer produces bold color output. A printer that adheres a wax based ink onto the paper. A thermal print head melts wax based ink from the transfer ribbon onto the paper. Colors are generated by melting wax. Operation costs are low and output is very slow. Thermal wax transfer printers are primarily used to create barcodes, receipts and shipping labels quickly and in large quantities. Then comes sublimation printer. Well, dye sublimation printer is a computer printing technique which uses heat to transfer dye onto materials such as plastic, card, paper or fabric. It produces very high quality and realistic output. They give very slow output. Its operation costs are very high. There are four panels for each print, one each of can, magenta and yellow, and a final clear coat that allows the print to be handled immediately without smudging. Especially dye receptive paper is used in dye sublimation printer. Well, thank you very much. That's it from my this presentation. I thank you all for the attention. Especially I would like to thank Safran for giving me the opportunity to use this platform for the academic purpose. YouTube, which is widely used all over the world, and I am very thankful to you, sir,